Hello, my friends. This is part 4 in a series of videos on the meanings of aspects according to vibrational astrology. We're up to the aspects to Venus. What do Venus-Mars aspects mean in vibrational astrology? Whether Venus and Mars are conjunct or square or trine or whatever it is, what does that combination essentially mean? It means needing to put one's heart into things, needing the power of the natural elements like natural wood, stone, strong colors, natural fabrics, a life that is rich with color and human creativity. Venus and Mars are inner planets. They're visceral, they're alive, they're not abstract. This is a feeling of going back to, you might say, the old country, making pots with your hand, excuse me, with clay that you got from the ground. Not things that are so vicarious or distant or mechanical, things that are alive and awake and real, that are made by people. So it's the need to make things and do things with real, tangible beauty and life. Also, with cooking, real foods, real herbs that are picked, real life, real vibrancy, real attraction. It's visceral and alive and awake, connected to the elements. This is the Venus-Mars combination. Venus-Jupiter, outgoing and friendly. Venus-Jupiter needs to be social and not be weighed down by life's responsibilities. We all have responsibilities. We all have bills to pay. But you can't live your life around that when you have Venus-Jupiter. You need to make time to just enjoy life, just to go out, go out for dinner, go bowling or playing sports or enjoying somebody's party at somebody's birthday party, having a celebration, time to socialize, to support people and to celebrate life, weddings, birthdays, extended family. Venus-Jupiter tends to be busy with a lot of these social activities, and it loves it. It brings the greater expanse of life into people's lives. And when Venus-Jupiter people can do that, they end up being better at meeting their responsibilities because they fulfill their big need. Venus-Jupiter needs to enjoy life and be drawn into big things. And their taste in arts needs to have a largeness to it as well. Now, Venus-Saturn. Venus-Saturn means attraction to a beauty that gets to the essence. It's an attraction to people who are sincere and honest, putting much more emphasis on the inner qualities than the outward appearance. So you see with Venus-Saturn that the people that they, for example, will marry may not be the richest, most beautiful, most attractive people, but they will be sincere, they will be real, they will be honest, because this is what matters to Venus-Saturn. It's who you are, what kind of maturity you have, and what you really stand for and what you're dedicated to. These are the things that are real beauty. These are the things that count. These are the things that will last past death. Also, you'll see artistic inclinations. This is often overlooked. We think of Saturn as malefic, as restrictive, as problems. Venus-Saturn being artistic? Absolutely. Because Venus-Saturn sees what makes something beautiful. They're interested in the design. They remove the clutter. Venus-Saturn feels uncomfortable with a lot of things just thrown together. They find the simple lines, the elegant foundations of things, and they're very good at organizing a website, at putting the furniture around a room. They see what's important and what's essential, visually as well as emotionally. Okay, Venus-Uranus is suddenly attracted to something. Venus-Uranus, when people have a strong aspect of Venus and Uranus, they're excitable. They want to play music or listen to music and dance. If a person has a strong Venus-Uranus aspect, a very strong square or trine and so on, and they don't dance or play music or play a lot of music and attend a lot of concerts, if they don't have this vibrant, rhythmic life and excitability, there's something wrong. They're going to become depressed. They're not going to function well at all. We all need a little music and dance, but Venus-Uranus needs a lot. People with these aspects need it as a constant thing in their life, at least once a week. A big musical event or dance, it has to be a big part of their lives, because remember, Uranus has rhythm to it, and Venus-Uranus is this rhythmic and excitable energy, great sense of rhythm, and their love relationships must have spontaneity. Even little things like a little surprise. Oh, we're going out with so-and-so this weekend. Let's take a little trip up to the mountains next weekend. Little surprises make all the difference in the world. Uranus is alive in the moment. It can't just thrive on commitment and memories. It needs electricity, life, excitement now. There needs to be excitement in the life. And this excitement doesn't have to be wild thrills, like crazy, nutty things. Just little bits of excitement that are real in your life make all the difference in the world. Venus, Neptune, romantic. A sense of magical beauty. It could be a walk on the beach in the moonlight. It could be the fragrance of flowers. It can be a beautiful song. Venus, Neptune means romance. That romantic feeling is more important than, for example, sexuality or anything else. It's that feeling of drifting, of being in love with love. So if two people meet in a romantic kind of relationship and they get this dreamy feeling, that's what Venus Neptune lives for, the dreamy romantic feeling. And it's not just in romance, it's style of music, style of art, style of life. A romantic quality in their life, sensitive artistic embellishments in their home, in where they work, to create inspiration. It could be a fountain, it could be some plants, it can be a natural walkway, it can be the way the light enters the room or stained glass. They need all of this kind of romantic magic in their lives. If the environment is too plain, too ordinary, it will just suck the life out of them. They need this. We all have Venus, Neptune in our charts. We all need this to some extent. But if a person has a very strong Venus, Neptune, they need it big time, all the time, in their lives, or they start to become apathetic. Life loses its meaning. Now, Venus, Pluto, driven by passion, attracted to something with an irresistible force. You'll see with Venus, Pluto, they often choose a romantic partner, a marriage partner, based on passion rather than reason. So it may not make sense why he chooses her or she chooses him. It doesn't have to make sense. It's their passion. It's the obsession. Choosing a life based on passion rather than reason is a Venus-Pluto way of life. They're drawn into a world that is fulfilling to their souls, that makes life feel beautiful based on their particular passion. So they follow things that they're drawn to and don't make sense. They often move to places that other people wouldn't live. They may live in the mountains or on the beach or a certain kind of very pastoral or very charming village, for example. They just have to live in that charming village. They can't get a good job there. They don't have opportunities there. I mean, they're away from their family. There's a lot of problems with it. But it's this obsessive feeling like you just have to have this charming village or this beach or this something, or you're going to go crazy. You can't even explain why. It's just obsessed. So Venus, Pluto, that's the way it lives. It needs to find what it feels obsessed about and go for it. And life becomes rich and meaningful and exciting when they do it. Can't compromise. Pluto makes life difficult because it's not able to compromise. It has to follow these passions, and they often are not compatible with other practical concerns. Well, let's do Mars. We'll do Mars, and I think we'll leave the Jupiter through Pluto for a separate video. Let's do Mars in this video. Mars, Jupiter. Jupiter's big. Mars is achieve big things. How simple is that? They are not content with modest achievement. Mars, Jupiter wants to achieve big things. They want to climb the next mountain. Once they're successful at one level, they want to go to the next level. It's entrepreneurial. It's always looking to see what new thing can be achieved. It tends to be successful. When you see Mars, Jupiter aspects, the person's usually successful. Why? Because they're always thinking about what else could be done. They'll say, okay, I've got a talent for plumbing, so I'm fixing people's plumbing and I enjoy doing it. Well, maybe I'll hire somebody. Maybe I'll advertise a little bit. Maybe I'll do that. They're looking at ways to do more plumbing, to reach more people, to see what's going on in the plumbing world. You might be surprised that there could be different technologies, different tools, different things that work in different places. They're not just narrowly fixing the pipes. They're thinking about the overall thing. They're exploring the different possibilities. They may find different suppliers who have better quality, lower prices. They find out what's going on in other places. So Mars, Jupiter is thinking about how to get to another level, a bigger perspective on this. And there's kind of a discontent there. They're always marching on, but it does tend to be successful. Now Mars Saturn will do the dirty work. They're going to do whatever needs to be done to do something well. When I mean they, people who have Mars Saturn in a very tight aspect. Now in vibrational astrology, we put more emphasis on 3 planet patterns, not 2 planet patterns. I'll talk about that in other videos. But when Mars and Saturn are highlighted, the person will do the dirty work. They're going to do whatever needs to be done. If they have to sweep the floors, if they have to clean the toilets, if they have to work late into the night till 2 o'clock in the morning, if they have to do the work of somebody else who's out sick or is gone on a holiday or whatever it is, Mars Saturn doesn't look for life to be easy and realizes you've got to do these things and you've got to focus on the fundamentals. Make sure that you have things in stock. If people come in and they want to buy something and you have a store, it doesn't work very well if the store is closed, if there's nobody to help them, if it's not in stock. They focus on the fundamentals. Is it there? Did we provide it? Were we courteous? Was our service right? Yes or no? Saturn's tough. Yes or no? Did we do it? Did we not do it? Can we do it better? It's detail. What we often think of as Virgo, and Virgo is picky, sometimes it's Saturn. Getting down to those essentials. Sometimes Mars Saturn doesn't succeed as well as it can. Why? Because people take advantage of Mars Saturn. Oh, they found somebody who will sweep the floors and do all this and won't be thinking about exactly how much they got paid. So sometimes Mars Saturn people get taken advantage of. Now Mars Uranus, very much what we think of is true, a sudden burst of energy, suddenly feeling impatient. It's the ability to respond quickly. It's also taking the initiative rather than waiting for others. It's this sudden burst of energy and a feeling that we're going to do it. We're going to do it now. Why are we waiting? So it tends to be impatient, explosive, and ready to go. So it's a take action. Mars Uranus is very good where you need leadership, where you need innovation, and where you need to break free from being stagnant. They will innovate. You also want somebody to be doing the research to make sure those innovations are in the right direction. Sometimes people have both Mars, Uranus, and maybe Mercury, Saturn, and they will do the research before they impulsively move forward. But that's the concern you have with Mars, Uranus, is they may act impulsively without researching it out very well beforehand. Mars, Neptune, follow a dream. The person needs to follow their rainbow. They just can't not compromise on this too much. We all have to compromise. We have to pay the bills. We have to be practical in life. We all can't go off and just do whatever our dream is, some crazy vision, like we're going to be musicians when we're struggling for 5 or 10 years and we have other talents that'll pay the bills. We all have to be practical. But Mars, Neptune, unfortunately, can't be as practical as other people. They really have to follow their dream. They've got to follow that rainbow because Mars, Neptune just doesn't have the patience to not follow their dream. They just start to lose enthusiasm. They just start to become apathetic about life very quickly. The safe, secure plan that is not exciting does not work out well for people to have a Mars-Neptune aspect. So we all have dreams. Mars-Neptune needs to be less compromising than others. Now, we don't want them, to be completely starving artists, as the expression goes. So you always have to be a little bit practical. But with that will, with that vision, with that charisma that they often develop for what they're so excited about, they can succeed. And they will succeed with whatever it is. They've got some dream. They're like starry-eyed little children, all excited about Santa Claus coming or whatever it is. If they stick to that and stay true to it and be honest with it and share it with other people, it will succeed. And eventually it will succeed as long as they're leaving healthy, constructive lives. So the Mars Neptune is about that visionary person who leads the way into that vision. And the vision isn't always some exotic, far-flung thing. Remember, Neptune can see the magic in everyday life that other people overlook. Mars-Pluto, driven by passion. Mars-Pluto people are obsessive. Only in bursts. They're not necessarily obsessive every moment of the day. But for some period of time, once Mars-Pluto gets involved in an activity, they can't let go of it. They will push it to the end. And they will follow their instincts. So Mars-Pluto needs to get involved with something they can really get their hands into. If they have a job where, their employment during the day is just, they just answer the phone and they take care of a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and they really can't get immersed into it and push it and drive it, it's not satisfying. They're going to be edgy at the end of the day. They're not going to sleep well. They've got this pent-up energy. They want to really push. They really want to push the boundaries. They really want to force things and see how far it can go. And they need to have something where they can get so engaged that they can push it. Sports are often good because you can drive, you can push, and you can become obsessed and fully engaged. It's a kind of obsession with what you're doing. It's the lifestyle people need to have. What you're going to find is you'll see these planets being prominent in the chart, and if the person has a lifestyle that supports that, Mars-Pluto, they're involved in a sport or engaged in an activity where they're pushing very hard, requires all their resources, they're happy. Mars-Neptune, they're able to follow their vision, their dream. The key is to be able to live a lifestyle that allows you to do that. Okay, my friends, I will do the other planets, Jupiter through Pluto, in a separate video. Thank you very much for listening. God bless. Namaste.